Hey, I'm Ryan Lagod.
And I'm Craig Tovey.
And welcome to Storytime with Ryan Lagod.
And Craig Tovey.
Remember, if you like what you see, click subscribe.
Or give us a like.
Or leave a comment.
You can ask us anything.
Question.
Ryan.
Craig, have you ever eaten a salad?
Ask me in the comments.
Today's book is The Adventures of Camellia Ann, period.
Is that right?
Totally.
The Rainforest. Written by Deborah L. Wittero. Illustrated by Daniela Fronja.
Ooh, let's get started. That sounds like a vampire. The Adventures of Camellia Ann, period.
The Rainforest. Written by Deborah L. Wittero. Illustrated by Daniela Fronja.
Who is going with you on your adventure tonight, Camellia Ann?
Her grandmother asked her in her sweet voice.
Otto and Q-Tip are coming with me. I just can't wait. Good night, Mimi. I love you so.
Sweet dreams, little Camellia Ann. Sleep tight and safe travels to you all.
Camellia blew her grandma a kiss and closed her eyes as the moonlight lit up her room.
Camellia Ann here, reporting for service.
Camellia said to the creature whose head popped out of the water in front of her, splashing her with his whiskers. Camellia smiled back at the funny-looking animal while she wiped the wet drops from her face. She was standing knee-deep in warm water in the most extraordinary land she had ever seen.
The local swimming pool.
No, look at it. Look at it.
A man-made lake in Arnold.
Try again. Just
a bathtub.
The book's called The Rainforest.
Oh, she's at the beach. Where is she?
She's in the rainforest.
Oh, the rain. That's what I said.
No, you did not.
Hello, Mr. Bear.
Camellia said kindly to the wet, furry creature smiling at her. As she spoke, her words echoed through the thick forest air. She giggled aloud as she heard herself say,
hello, Mr. Bear.
Harumph! Let me make this clear, Camellia Ann,
the creature said in his childlike voice.
I'm certainly not a bear. I've been called many other names before, but never a bear. I am an otter, and a giant otter at that. I'm Otto W. The W stands for weasel, he said with pride. Welcome to the most enchanted place on the planet, my magical rainforest. I will take you on an adventure like you've never seen before. That is, if I can remember which way to go.
Otto chuckled. He was happy to have a new friend to welcome to his forest.
Shh! Just look and listen, Camellia Ann. There's magic all around us,
Otto whispered. Camellia listened to the music of the forest. The grass in the distance began to sway and make a smoothing, whooshing sound. At the very same time, drip drops of water fell one by one. She heard the funniest sounds of birds chirping, some very high and others very, very low. She even heard insects
munching
on leaves nearby. Too loud. No thanks.
Yeah. Ugh.
Too much noise.
I don't like to be loud.
Suddenly, loud screeching sounds seemed to come from the trees. Frogs, snails, lizards, spiders, and insects of all shapes and sizes began to appear. The closer Camellia Ann looked, the more she seemed to see. The more Camellia Ann listened, the more she seemed to hear. Everything in Otto's world was alive and moving.
Yippee!
Camellia shouted out.
This is going to be my best adventure ever!
Of course this will be your best adventure, Camellia Ann. There is no place like my forest,
Otto replied.
First, let's go find my buddy Q-Tip to join us on this journey. Q's a very good tour guide and knows the forest better than anyone. They're clever, but a very odd bunch, those cotton-top tamarins. They eat and nap all day and sleep in different trees every night. It's very strange,
Otto said while shaking his head back and forth.
What is a rainforest, Otto?
Camellia asked curiously. Before Otto could respond, Camellia caught a glimpse of a teeny tiny creature no larger than her kitten. It walked on all fours, had black skin on its face, reddish black hair all over its back, and lots of wild, wiry white hair on top of its head.
Look, Otto!
Camellia giggled.
There's a very weird little squirrel over there.
A bear? A squirrel? What do they teach you in school these days, Camellia Ann? That's not a squirrel. That's Q-Tip.
Otto and Q-Tip waved to each other.
Hi, I'm Q-Tip, but you can call me Q or QT.
He winked, then munched on a large leaf in his already full mouth.
What is a rainforest, you asked?
the tiny monkey answered in his high squeaky voice. He quickly bent down and stuffed seeds in his mouth.
Oh, Q-tip, huh?
Is he small enough to clean my ears?
Or small enough to clean my nose?
Or my car? What a weird name.
Q-tip.
The rainforest is the wettest place on planet Earth, and no doubt the most interesting. We are home to thousands of species of birds, hundreds of different mammals, many species of turtles, more butterflies than the eye can see, and more than 70,000 insects. That's lucky for me, as I just love insects.
Q-tip laughed.
Rainforests are like giant sponges that store Earth's water. This water feeds our rivers and lakes, which affects our climate everywhere in the world. Simply said, because it's wet, warm, and rains a lot, our home is named the rainforest,
said Q-tip.
Well, I love the rain and I love the forest. I already know I love your rainforest.
Camellia Ann giggled while looking at the lush, green world surrounding them. Then she spotted the biggest tree she had ever seen and ran over to climb its tangled branches.
This is so much fun!
Camellia shouted out joyfully.
The world always looks wonderful upside down.
I'm so happy you like our trees.
Q-tip squeaked.
When you climb back down, we'll travel up the river and show you our world.
Camellia slowly climbed down the tree and landed in the moist and soggy leaves below. Q-tip and Camellia started out on foot while Otto swam in the water. The three didn't get far when Camellia saw dark eyes peeking out through jumbled leaves and twisted tree trunks. As she looked around, Q and Otto were nowhere to be found.
I see you. Come out, wherever you are,
she said playfully to the creature in hiding.
Are you afraid of me?
She asked the large, bright eyes staring back at her.
Camellia is brave.
If I had two large eyes staring at me out of the bushes, I'd run.
I'd be like, ah!
And yeah, I'd do that too. I'd be like, ah!
And then I'd be like, ah!
A large tan spotted cat moved ever so slowly within the forest. It looked at Camellia fiercely and then roared. As it roared, it began to cough. Roar! Roar! Roar!
Is that a cough you have?
Camellia asked with concern. The cat roared louder, but Camellia didn't move away.
I'm Camellia Ann, and I think you're a giant cat, aren't you?
She asked.
I'm Jackie,
The animal said in a low nasal voice while growling.
Roar. I'm not a cat at all. Roar, roar, roar! Can't you see I'm a jaguar? You, little girl, should be afraid of me.
She snarled back at Camellia, then sneezed.
Achoo!
I don't think so, Jackie. You look just like my kitten at home, just a bit larger with a terrible cold.
Camellia said in a bit of a sassy tone.
I'm here visiting your forest today. You can come with me if you'd like, but you really mustn't roar.
Achoo!
Jackie roared again, then looked back at Camellia Ann, who wasn't the least bit interested.
Okay, little girl, I'd love to come,
sighed Jackie as she sniffled and coughed.
I don't have many friends here in the forest, but you can be my friend. Please don't tell anyone, Camellia Ann, but I'm not a good jaguar at all. I've been sent on my own to hunt, but I don't want to eat other animals,
she said sweetly as she sniffed.
I really prefer to play, swim, and eat only vegetables.
Just then, Otto and Q-tip came out from their hiding places.
Well, hello there, Jackie. I'm very happy you eat your vegetables and would love you to join our adventure.
Q-tip said with enthusiasm.
Before we all go upstream, it's time for a little lesson, Camellia Ann. You certainly can't come to our forest without a Q-tip tip.
Q-tip motioned to his friends to gather around him. He quite liked being the rainforest expert. The rainforest is called the lungs of our planet. Half of the animals and plants on planet Earth live in our rainforest, Otto stated with pride. Generations of giant otters have been around for millions of years. You're pretty lucky to meet me, I'd say, Otto said boldly.
Very lucky indeed,
Q-tip said as he took over the lesson.
As I was going to say, there are 4 floors or layers to our rainforest. Jaguars, like Jackie,
Achoo!
mostly live where the mosquitoes live. That may just be my favorite part.
He said with delight.
We get it, Q-Tip. You like insects.
Get over it.
You're just eating insects. Have you ever eaten an insect?
Yeah,
What'd you eat?
an ant.
We are now in the forest floor, where it is the darkest and damp. As we start going higher, it gets lighter and different plants and animals live there.
Q-Tip continued as Camellia sat dazzled.
Most of the animals in the rainforest live in what we call the canopy. It's like a maze of giant trees, branches, and leaves, twisting and turning, and great for hiding. The top layer is the sunniest spot and home to the prettiest birds and butterflies on our planet. I've been to them all and have never met a layer I didn't like.
Camellia never met a layer she didn't like either.
I've never met a cake I didn't like.
I prefer pie. Emergent layer.
Canopy.
Understory.
Forest floor. I want to see everything.
Camellia said with a twinkle in her eye. It was hot and sticky walking along the river. Jackie and Otto took refreshing swims along the way, but the water was rushing too quickly for Camellia.
I know just the thing to help us all cool off. Let's build a raft.
Camellia suggested they go on a scavenger hunt. She gathered odd-sized bits and pieces, old rubber tires, and all different sizes of rope and returned to the river's edge with her hands full. Otto returned with only a few large leaves in his paws. Missy, do you actually know how to build this raft you want? Otto asked with curiosity.
Silly Otto. It can't be very difficult with all of these things.
Camellia replied confidently. She started to wind rope through the tires and attach tree branches and leaves in between. Soon Jackie and Q returned juggling bamboo, wood, and coconuts, and just like that, Camellia N built her very first raft. As they put the raft in the river, it started to not only rain but pour. Raindrops as large as tennis balls left them soaking wet. Jackie snuggled up next to Camellia N as she made her way up the river. Big birds and teeny tiny birds chirped non-stop from all the nearby trees. Camellia then saw brightly colored macaws playing tag in the air as they screeched and squawked very loudly to each other. Spider monkeys were howling in the trees. Some were upside down hanging from their tails, while others were swinging from tree to tree and then back again. Each time the rain stopped, the most beautiful plants and flowers would appear. Waterfalls disappeared into puffy white clouds that peeked out from the tall treetops. After each new rain, the sun shined brighter, bringing with it giant rainbows that crisscrossed the sky. Suddenly, Camellia spotted something moving next to the shoreline.
Wake up! Wake up, sleepyheads!
She shouted out loudly to her sleeping friends. Camellia pointed to what looked like huts alongside the river.
Look, Otto, Q, and Jackie. I see children playing and something moving in the trees.
Camellia gazed at the children, her green eyes sparkling as bright as the leaves. The four quickly paddled closer to the shore. There she saw kids playing with marble-like rocks, while others were holding bows and arrows.
Look, everyone! There are children just like me in this village.
Camellia was so excited as they pulled the raft onto the shore.
These are the children of the Awa tribe.
Q said softly.
There are sadly only a few hundred Awa people in our forest since outsiders have been cutting down their trees,
He stated. Camellia looked at the tall trees surrounding them and wondered why anyone would want to cut them down.
Hi, everyone. I'm Camellia N. That's Camellia N. Period.
She spelled out, waving her arms joyfully in the air. Great. We don't speak English.
Actually, she's speaking in Awa.
How?
It's her dream sequence, Greg.
anything's possible.
Oh, I forgot.
Anything's possible. Don't cut down trees.
These are my new friends, Q-Tip, Otto, and Jackie. They all live here in the forest.
Q-Tip bowed gracefully. Otto waved his paw and Jackie roared a little hello. The children stared back at Camellia N as if they had never seen a girl like her before. They put down their bows and arrows and giggled while speaking in their own language. A small boy gave Camellia a gift basket filled with fruit. All the children wildly began to chant her name.
Camellia N. Period.
Camellia N.
Period.
Camellia N.
Period.
Camellia was overjoyed. She was happy to meet the Awa children, and sad to leave so quickly to continue their journey. They waved goodbye and returned to the raft.
What do the Awa children do here in the forest, Q?
Camellia asked, with curiosity.
They live off the land, Camellia N. The tribes know the forest better than anyone, except for me, of course.
Q-Tip boasted.
Many of them have never seen anyone from the outside world like you. It's very different from your home, I'm sure.
Camellia nodded and smiled.
They're so much fun to be with. I'd like to return one day to play.
The farther they traveled, the more unusual creatures they saw. Soon the day turned to night and darkness began to fill the sky. The rainforest buzzed with all different sounds at nighttime. A symphony of clicks,
Squeaks!
Squeals!
and roars filled the thick, dark air.
I love your rainforest world. I want to come back again and again.
Camellia said as she rubbed her tired eyes. The rhythm of the floating raft, along with the darkness, had made her quite sleepy.
You've seen quite a bit for just one day, Camellia N. Although the rainforest only covers a small part of planet Earth, half of the world's wildlife live here. You've met many of us today, but there are many, many more friends for you to meet.
Q-Tip said warmly.
That's a lot to see in just one adventure.
Otto added sweetly.
Please return for another adventure with us, little Camellia. I've grown quite fond of you.
I like you too.
Purred Jackie.
You're my first real friend, Camellia Ann. I promise not to roar the next time I see you.
Jackie had tears in her eyes.
Achoo!
Don't worry, dear Camellia. When you do return, I'll be here waiting to be your guide.
Q-Tip assured her.
I do think you should get some rest now, little one.
Camellia nodded as her eyes got heavier and slowly began to close. As the journey came to an end, Camellia just couldn't wait to share her rainforest adventure. Under the deep green canopy, giant otters were happily swimming. Spider monkeys were squealing and playing. Wild birds were chirping, and insects were clicking. All while a family of bright blue morpho butterflies flew high atop the rainforest watching the magic of it all.
The world is more beautiful than I ever imagined. I will treasure it and take care of it forever. The end.
It's the wettest place on planet Earth. Met some new friends, they are exciting.
Built a raft by myself and sailed downstream. Met some new kids, they were inviting.
It's like a 4-layer cake and it's noisy too.
This magical land is all for you, Camellia and period. The Adventures of Camellia and period. The Rainforest.
Written by Deborah L. Wittero. Illustrated by Daniela Fronja.
Well, thanks for watching Storytime with Ryan Lagod.
And Craig Tovey.
If you loved that book and want to see more, please click subscribe.
And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
That's it. We'll see you next time.